Hey, Chad Carter here with ChadCarter.net, and here is the proposal for Fund 5 that I was talking about. And I'm doing this video so that you can actually find out about it in about 5 minutes, and so I can actually put it as a comment in my proposal, and I'll have a link to that in the description below on YouTube. Alright, so let's jump into it. So thanks for the opportunity to talk about my proposal, and thanks for caring enough to listen to me. My name is Chad Carter, and this is my Catalyst Fund 5 proposal. It's called Native Token API for Game Developers. So imagine with me, if you will, that you're a gamer and that you spent a better part of a year pouring your time into this game, racking up the in-game currency. So let's take Forza Horizon 4 from Playground Games as an example. So here I've been awarded some super wheel spins, and I'm using those, and you can see in the top right of the screen my current credits is about 94 million. It's pretty nice, and this wheel spin I got, I had this unique car and another 280,000 in credits. I sell the car and my credits are updated, and now I have over 95 million credits, and as a gamer I want to be able to unlock those credits. I want to be able to withdraw them from the game. I've worked hard, or rather I've played hard to earn those credits, and I want to be able to turn that currency into USD or any other fiat, or into ADA or any other crypto, or I even want to turn into a different game's currency. And that's where this proposal comes in. So gamers want to trade their in-game currencies between games or even between crypto or fiat currencies, but it's too hard for the game developers to allow that. So I want to create an easy-to-use API with great documentation, videos, and example games that allow game developers to create their own in-game currency and mint their own native tokens on the blockchain. It's too hard for developers to add this type of capability in their games, as it requires knowledge of blockchain development. But by creating these APIs, a currency server, Unity assets, and example games, it will give game developers the tools they need to easily mint their own native tokens and allow gamers to withdraw their in-game currency into that game's native token. This project focuses on letting the gamer withdraw their in-game currency to their wallets as native tokens. The actual trading of that native token to other tokens or to ADA or fiat, that's not included in this proposal. The hope is that can be solved in parallel by one of the decentralized exchanges or DEX projects that's currently underway, like SundaeSwap. So there are 7 main pieces to this phase of the project. There are 2 different APIs for game developers to use. One is for in-game transactions, and another is to communicate with the blockchain to actually mint tokens and withdraw the in-game currency to those native tokens. There'll be a currency server created so that in-game currency is never on the local device where it can be easily hacked. 2 additional Unity assets will be created, and that's to make it easier for the Unity game developers to use those APIs. And finally, in an effort to test the entire system myself and to provide additional examples for the game developer community, there'll be 2 example games created. And every single one of these deliverables will also have great documentation for the game developers, as well as excellent instructional video training. So I'm going to jump into the roadmap next, but as a reminder of who we're actually trying to help, here's the game Watch Dogs 2. So I spent time doing different missions and driving people around for some cash, and I have about $256,000 of in-game currency. And I want to be able to take those funds and switch them out for another game's currency or fiat or crypto. Alright, so let's get to the roadmap and see how we can help game developers enable this for gamers. So this month I'll be wrapping up the design. My original roadmap had this completed in May, but I've not been able to devote enough time to this project, and it's why I need it funded so I can actually spend all my time on this. In August and September I'll create some proof of concepts. In October I'll actually create the 2 games and submit another Catalyst proposal to help fund marketing of this project. In November I'll be refactoring and finalizing the API and games. And by the end of the year, I want to be able to deploy the API, the Unity assets, and start on the documentation and instructional videos. In January, I'll start a marketing blitz, assuming the proposal from Fund 7 is approved, and I'll continue working on documentation and instructional videos. I continue the documentation in February, along with some more marketing, including running a free challenge for game developers. Now, this is my best effort to plan this out, but it's subject to change, especially the further down the timeline that we go. So there's enough work here for a solid 8 to 9 months, and as a result I can't do this project for anything less than 120,000 USD. Now I understand that 120,000 for this project is 20% of the overall development fund of 600,000, and I don't take that lightly. However, I cannot devote the time needed in the time frame needed without that amount. In order to keep this project sustainable over time, there'll be some fees that the game developers will pay and some that gamers will pay. These will be nominal fees unless the developers are using my currency server, in which case there'll be a tiered approach based off of the amount of usage. But both Unity assets are going to be free. Both games are going to be free. The currency server and the API is going to be open source. And if the game developers don't want to stand up their own currency server, they can utilize my currency server for that fee. All documentation and video trainings will be free. The blockchain API is not going to be open source immediately. However, the Pluto smart contracts will be open source, and the open source projects will be released with the MIT license. All issues will be tracked in GitHub, and I'll be doing a sprint review every 2 weeks on YouTube so everyone can see the progress that's been made. So just a little bit about me. I'm a professional software developer for over 25 years. I've architected and developed multiple e-commerce systems from some really cool companies. I've created 3 different technical books, 2 of them on game programming, and I created a HoloLens membership where I taught developers how to utilize the HoloLens. I did that for a couple years, and in that I provided really high quality video trainings. And I'm also a Cardano stake pool operator. Haven't really done any marketing around this yet, but I've been running this since March, and I've kind of seen the ins and outs of what it takes to actually run a stake pool. And it's almost as a prerequisite to actually work with the Cardano node behind the scenes to actually work on the blockchain API that I'm going to be doing. Also, I was in the Plutus Pioneer program. I was the first cohort of that. So the first 10 weeks that they ran this, I was doing that. They're actually running the second cohort now. And so yeah, with that, I will wrap it up. And this is when I was in Idea Fest, where I actually had the Q&A. So since we don't have the time for Q&A here, feel free to leave questions on this YouTube video, or leave questions if you're looking at this on Idea Scale in the comments there, and I'll be more than happy to respond to your questions the best that I can. So thank you very much for considering voting for this proposal.